guys? Welcome back to True Talk Chelsea, and welcome back to our segment of the Chelsea Monthly Review. Palash?
Yeah, in this segment, we first talk about the results from the previous month. In the month of November, we played a total of 5 games, three of which were in the Premier League and two in the Champions League. We kicked off the month on the 5th of November with a Champions League game against Rennes. Chirag, could you speak about that game?
Yes, it was a typical Chelsea game, or rather, typical Frank Lampard game. We were dominating the French team easily, but I would say it was a bit harsh on the French side as they received a red card in the 40th minute, which they did not deserve. Later, Timo Werner converted the penalty, and also he again scored from the spot in the same match. And we, from that point of time, we knew Timo Werner was the main guy on our penalty spot, and not Jorginho. Also, Tammy Abraham wrapped the game with the 50th minute third goal.
That's correct. Next, we played a Premier League game on the 7th of November against Sheffield United. Part, could you speak about that game?
Yeah, 4-1 home win. A very beautiful team goal by Sheffield in the beginning. It's really annoying to see David McGoldrick score against us in two continuous fixtures because like he rarely scores ever. Tammy equalized for us. Then it was an awkward finish for Chilwell, but he managed well. Then a beautiful finish by Silva, and finally to top off a nice goal by Werner. 4-1, easy win.
Yes, indeed. We did concede one early goal. It's quite rare Chelsea conceding nowadays, but yes, we bounced back really. We were never really in doubt, even though we fell behind. We were always feeling that we were going to get all 3 points, and we indeed did. Next up was Newcastle, a 2-0 victory. Oliver, could you speak about that game?
Against Newcastle, I think we played well. I think we could have done better considering that obviously they are quite a weak side at the moment, and we had them. We had them. We had them there. We had them where we wanted them, and we could have scored tons of goals, I think. But yeah, I think the result in the end was good enough, and I think we'll take it.
Next was the return fixture against Rennes Champions League. This was a really shaky game. It started off well when Mason Mount won the ball in his own half, an amazing through ball lofted over the top for Callum Hudson-Odoi. He was through on goal and scored brilliantly in the 22nd minute. It was a goal made in Chelsea, two academy products combining. You'll have to see it. However, we did not extend our lead, which we should have. We kept at 1-0, and in the 85th minute of a corner, Rennes scored a goal and they equalized. Just then, we were thinking that we would just get 1 point, which would be two very big points lost. But then the man, Olivier Giroud, off the bench, amazing header, bullet header to secure all 3 points for Chelsea. Next up, we faced Tottenham in the London derby. Chirag, could you speak about that game?
Yes, for the same game, we had a preview of the match on our channel, and the game went the same way that we all predicted. A complete Mourinho masterclass. I would say rather than masterclass, the parking the bus, what Mourinho loves to do. He Tottenham was sitting back, not allowing any chances for Chelsea, hitting them on counters. But both the team were very solid. It was the game where which team blinks first, but none of the game teams did that. I would say it was not 2 points lost, but neither the 1 point gained. It was a pretty even game. 0-0. We do not expect Chelsea to get a 0-0 draw, but yeah, all parties were happy with the draw.
Yeah, definitely. So with this, we could see that it was quite a good month, undefeated as we could see. We conceded 2 goals, I think, in the 5 games. I'm sorry, yeah, 2 goals, and that's actually pretty good because our defensive record of late has been pretty amazing, and we've scored quite some many as well. Now moving on to the Chelsea. Speaking about goals, moving on to the November goal of the month. So Oliver, which goal do you think is the best goal we scored in the month of November?
Um, for me personally, I think it has to be Chilwell's.
Chilwell's goal. Chirag, do you agree with that?
No, I would say, as we discussed about the rain game, the second fixture, Olivier Giroud, scoring in the 91st minute, the header, I would say that was a better goal or a more intensifying goal. First of all, the quality that Giroud put behind that goal. He just won the second ball. The ball was deflected by the keeper. He jumped so high. He had the perfect technique to beat the man in the goal. Like we had a defender defending the goal, but he had so much power in his header that it went past him. And also, this goal helped us to claim our spot in the next round of the Champions League. This not only helped us in topping the group later in the fixture against Sevilla, but also helped us to secure a spot so that we can easily field our big team in the coming games, and we do not have to risk our main team players in this heavy schedule.
So Chirag feels that Olivier Giroud's winner against Rennes should be the goal of the month. Parth, do you agree with that?
I'm disagreeing. I would go for the Callum Hudson-Odoi goal. It was a brilliant retrieval of the ball from Mason and then a beautiful ball. And then Callum Hudson-Odoi, like he always does, brilliant, slots it in. I think that was the best goal of a month.
Yeah, true. Actually, to be honest, for the Chilwell goal that I gave, I think I gave it purely for the Ziyech assist and the fact that he played outstanding in that game. But looking back at it, I think you could have had a whole mixture of goals in there. You could have had Werner's goal where he went on the run, laid it off to Tammy. You could have had, obviously, as Path put it, you could have had Hudson-Odoi's goal, outstanding work by Mason and a lovely finish. And obviously, Giroud's was unreal in importance. But yeah, I think I just wanted to clarify why I made my decision. But I think those are definitely contenders. Yeah.
So let's get Palas to decide it finally.
Uh, I think we'll let the audience decide. We'll let our viewers decide. So Giroud's goal versus Ren, Callum Hudson-Odoi's goal versus I think it was Ren 2, and finally Chilwell's goal versus uh which one? Sheffield. Which goal was your Chelsea monthly best goal? Drop it down in the comments below. And finally, we decide on the Chelsea monthly player of the month for November. So, who was the best player in November according to you, Oliver?
Um, according to me, I think it's got to be Chilwell. Obviously, he was put up for the Premier League, one of the players of the months. I think as well there could have been a whole shouts, and I think Mason Mount definitely deserves a shout because I think he's proven a lot of people wrong who doubted him and called him Lampard's son as well. But I'm just going to go Chilwell because I think he really, in that month showed us not only is he defensively sound, he's also a very big attacking threat. And his link up with Ziyech, I mean, obviously, if Ziyech would have, played more in that month, I think, or at least played with Chilwell more, I think he could have had more assists and he could have been the player of the month. But for me, just over Ziyech and Mount, I think it's got to be Chilwell.
So, Oliver feels that Chilwell is the player of the month. Would any of you two disagree, or do you all feel similarly?
I completely agree with what Oliver said. Just mentioning Reece James as well. That guy has been brilliant. He has been performing in each game he's playing, defensively solid, putting in perfect crosses. But for me too, Chilwell was the player of the month for us. He has, by the time we are recording, he has been nominated for Premier League Player of the Month award as well for the exceptional performance he's showing. He's making perfect runs behind the defenders. He has been defensively pretty solid, not leaking any goals as Chelsea fans are used to seeing from the left hand side. But I would say Chilwell deserves it. He has earned his place amongst the big mega signings Chelsea made in the attacking half. All were not so convinced when we signed Chilwell, but he is proving his worth.
Yeah.
Definitely. So, we mutually decide as Ben Chilwell to be November monthly player of the month. And finally, we would rate the month of November out of 10. As we know, we've been unbeaten in this month. 11 goals scored in 4 games and only 2 goals conceded. That's zero point 0.5 goals conceded per game and nearly 3 goals scored per game. And some important wins, like the wins against Ren, by virtue of which we are going to top the group. So, how will you rate the month out of 10? Chirag, how much will you rate it out of 10?
If we would have got the win over Mourinho side, it would have been 10 on 10 for me. But just for that draw, I will just take half a point from the team, 9.5 for me. I can't see us not. I can't see us performing better this month. It was perfect what Chelsea fans would have asked for.
Oliver, would you? How much would you give it out of 10?
Well, I think I partially agree there with Chirag, but I think in order to get a 10 out of 10, I mean, 10 out of 10 means that you haven't made, you know, you haven't made any bloopers or any blunders whatsoever or
Yeah,
any
not stepped a
negative things have
single foot
happened to you
wrong.
at all.
Definitely, yeah.
And for that to happen, you've got to concede no goals instead of 2 goals. I mean, obviously, conceding 2 goals. If we had heard about that last year, sorry, we'd have been jumping in the air. But yeah, I think as well, winning every game as well. Obviously, we didn't beat Tottenham. That would have been a 10 out of 10. So for me, I'm going to give it, I reckon, either an 8 or a 9. I think a 9. I'll be generous. I think give it a 9.
All right. And Parth, how much would you give it out of 10?
I'll give it a 9.5. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. And a special mention to players that we didn't mention for the player of the month. I think Giroud and Edu Mendy
Yeah,
don't
very
get
true.
as much appreciation as they do.
Yeah,
I mean, Giroud has like barely any minutes, and he's literally single-handedly taken us as the leader for the Champions League group. And we may not know, we may survive getting a tough fixture in the round of 16 because of that. And Edu Mendy, I mean, we really underestimate his
Yeah.
efforts. I mean, without him, it was like basically every game we had like 1 or 2 errors leading to goals, which was absolutely ridiculous for a
I
team as
mean,
big as Chelsea. Since he's come, I mean, it's
yeah,
brilliant. His stats have been.
I think for me, I think Giroud is a really good shout. But I think if those 4 goals in against Sevilla, if they would have been in the month of November, he would have definitely, without a doubt, would have been the player of the month for me because to score 4 goals in one match is just unreal no matter what. And also because he got the winner against Rennes. But yeah, considering that was in the month of December, we can't unfortunately count it.
Yeah.
But Edu Mendy, yeah, brilliant shout again. He sort of flew over my head. But I think another shout that we don't give enough credit as well was Thiago Silva. But yeah, Palash, I'd like to hand over to you again.
no, just adding up, if we are talking about the players, N'Golo Conte looks to be getting in his back in his
Yeah,
prime for
I
me.
thought that as well, 100%.
Yeah, I think we could name not just 11, we could name 15 players from Chelsea now who had performed really well
Yeah,
this whole month. But we have to decide one, right?
Definitely. It's always been a team performance this season. We've got players doing well in all fields, right from a goalkeeper to amazing right backs, Chilwell at left back, two amazing centre backs, Kante just being on the side of the park, and an amazing attack. Most number of goals scored in the Premier League so far. It's going all well, and I hope that we maintain this unbeaten run in December as well, which would help us in our uh, challenge for the Premier League for the first time since 4 years now, I guess. So, what about you all? How much would you all rate month of November out of 10? Make sure you drop your ratings in the comments below. And with this, we come to the end of the podcast. It was an amazing shooting, guys. Thank you, Chirag, Parth, and Oliver. And
thank you.
yeah,
Thank you,
until
guys.
next time, I'm Palash signing off. See you all.